T-minus 10, 9, 8.
The clock is
7.
operating. We're underway.
Tranquility Base here. Endeavor, go at throttle up.
Welcome to Mount Bachelor near Bend, Oregon for the 2015 USCSA Nationals, which are brought to you by Patagonia, Reliable Racing, and Twitchell Clothing. So our sponsors again are Patagonia, Reliable Racing, and Twitchell Clothing. A great day here, little wind, clear skies, and pretty mild temperatures compared to this morning when we arrived. Snow temperatures were around -9 degrees Celsius, and things have changed considerably. There are skiers skiing around, and I see a female out there in a tank top. I am here. I'm Jason Albert here with Bert Hinckley. Bert, you want to introduce yourself or talk a little bit about what conditions we're seeing this afternoon?
Yes, Jason. I want to welcome all the athletes and coaches here from universities and colleges across the country. They're here at Mount Bachelor Nordic Center on a Bluebird day. We've got an air temp of 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius right now, and snow temps varying from -3 in the sun to about -5 in the shade. Those variations are presenting the coaches and athletes with some waxing challenges, but that's the name of Nordic skiing, and especially in the classic discipline.
So we are here this morning. We have just concluded about an hour ago the Women's National Individual Start Classic race of 7.5 kilometers. How long is today's men's race, Bert?
The men's race is also 7.5 kilometers. So they will do the three laps on this course. It's a challenging course, Jason. We start off here on the flat in the start stadium, but fairly soon the skiers will ascend what's called Blue Jays Hill. And the Blue Jays Hill is a very steep hill. It has quite a bit of exposure to the sun, which means it'll be a little slick this time of day. A lot of the course following the Blue Jays climb will be descending down into the woods on the other side of that ridge. And we'll have some technical high-speed turns for the athletes as they ski down into the woods and then return to the start-finish area to lap.
So there are two disciplines at this level for Nordic skiing. There is skate skiing and there is traditional striding or classic skiing. In classic skiing, you have glide wax in the rear of the ski and the front part of the ski, and a kind of a stickier kick wax underneath the foot or the foot zone. So what are some of the challenges in terms of the kick this afternoon around 32 degrees Fahrenheit?
Jason, I was just outside checking with a number of the coaches to see what they were thinking about in terms of grip wax, and I saw everything out there from some coaches using a clister binder. Clister is a wax. It's almost like epoxy. It's very sticky. And I saw some coaches applying a clister binder with a hard wax over it.
Okay, we just got notification. There is about 3 minutes to the race start. So racers, start lining up. 3 minutes to the race start.
Other coaches I saw using a hard wax binder, which isn't quite as sticky. All of them were covering whatever binder they had on there with a hard wax. And again, they're taking some different approaches. Some are choosing for more grip. For those athletes who have had a little bit of difficulty climbing, they're opting to go with a little more grip so they can get up the hills in an efficient fashion. Others are choosing to go with more glide. Skiers with very strong technique and good fitness are often going with more glide, a little faster skis in the downhill, a little faster skis on the flat.
Okay, and in terms of like, how would you describe Clister? How is that different from a hard wax?
Clister waxes come in a tube, and they look, as I say, much like epoxy as it comes out of the tube. It's very gooey. It can get on everything. The hard waxes are for colder snows. They're not quite as sticky, and they're easier to apply, easier to get off. There are people who dread putting Clister on, but when the Clister wax is right, there's nothing that beats a great Clister wax for classical skiing. You get very good grip, and it'll have a very fast glide.
Okay, so looking at our start list for the men's race, which is a 7.5K classic, 2 laps of a roughly 3.25 kilometer loop. We'll have Sindre, let me get this straight here. Sindre Solvang from the University of Wyoming, Kyle Carpenter from the University of Wyoming, Ethan Katz from Clarkson, Zach Graff from the Air Force Academy, and Thomas Clayton who is a guest skier from UVM. They will round out the first 5 skiers.
Jason, it was good to see Thomas Clayton here. It turns out his father was one of my junior athletes in the 70s in Vermont. It was good to see Thomas here from the University of Vermont.
Okay, so we have our first skier stepping up to the start gate here.
We have Sindre Solvang from the University of Wyoming, bib number 1.
He is an economics and math major, and it says his hometown is Cheyenne, Wyoming.
See a lot of local kids, Wyoming kids, going to the University of Wyoming in Laramie. Provides a great education, not too far from home, good bang for the buck, and a terrific ski program.
Okay, so hopefully later on in the course of this race, we'll get some live results for you. And University of Wyoming, as I had mentioned, they'll be the first 2 starters.
The University of Wyoming men's team was the runner-up last year for the national championships. Their women's team is the current national champion. We watched their women this morning with a very strong performance.
So lots of volunteers out here today, 25 to 30 folks from around the local communities, Sisters Bend, helping volunteer. And Solvang is Sindre is getting ready to start here.
Athletes are under starter's notice. Looks like we've got about 15 seconds to the first male skier in today's USCSA National Championships. This is the men's classic race, individual start.
And he is off. Next skier up from University of Wyoming is Kyle Carpenter, and today's race being an individual start, the racers will be going at 30-second intervals, so approximately 30 seconds after the first skier, our next skier, Kyle Carpenter, will head out.
We have athletes here from the University of Wyoming, Clarkson University, the Air Force University, and there goes our athlete from the University of Wyoming, a strong double pole start.
Okay, next up from Clarkson is Ethan Katz. Ethan is a mechanical engineering major and comes from Glen Falls, New York.
Glens Falls, New York is also the home, I believe, of one of our sponsors, Reliable Racing Supply.
Okay, he is getting the notice from start official Bill Martin. Okay, and he is off. Next up is Zach Graff from the U.S. Air Force Academy out of Colorado. He is a geospatial sciences major and hails from Andover, New Hampshire.
Andover, New Hampshire has a terrific club there, the Andover Outing Club. Maybe more athletes on the U.S. National Olympic team from Andover than any other small club in America.
Okay, racer number 5 getting ready is our guest skier from the University of Vermont, or UVM, Thomas Clayton. He also is a local from Vermont.
Thomas Clayton is from Heinsberg, Vermont. I coached his dad as an alpine skier back in the 70s. Thomas is not only an accomplished skier, he's also an accomplished mountain biker and plays the tuba. He is an internationally known tuba player. Off to a strong start. There goes Tom. Skis like his dad.
Okay, racer number 6 is Peter Champa from Cornell, from Ithaca, New York. His hometown is Arlington, Virginia. And he is one of numerous skiers who have made the trek from Ithaca.
It's good to see some skiers from states that don't necessarily have a strong history in Nordic skiing, but those Virginia students can go up to Cornell and ski in the ample snow that they have this year.
Okay, next up is Taylor Vignaroli. Taylor, with bib number 7, is sporting a sweet Glenn Plake lookalike mohawk here. We're getting the nod from the start line.
I hope that the hairstyle doesn't diminish his glide on some of the flats, creating a little too much wind resistance, but he'll probably overpower that with his fitness.
Okay, is on course. Looking strong, a very good solid start. Number 7, Duncan Kane.
Looks like we've got about 2 minutes here to a short break.
Okay, so how have conditions changed from the women's race earlier this morning? So when we got up here around 8 a.m. this morning, it was very cold, about 8 degrees air temperature, negative 8 degrees Celsius air temp, cold snow, and that snow makes for a little bit easier kick waxing. The conditions have changed a little bit. Sun is up, clear skies, and the classic tracks have become a little bit glazed. And how does one treat that, Bert?
Well, I went out and talked with some of the coaches earlier, and I saw that they were approaching the kick wax in a number of different ways. Most were finding that the snow was still relatively cold in every place on the course except that directly facing the sun. So most are going with a fairly cold kick wax. Some were going with a softer kick wax as an underlayer, and we call that a cushion, and that softer wax will give them a little bit better kick. They were covering that softer wax with a hard layer of wax and giving them a good glide. They were opting for that cushion wax. Some I saw were using a clister binder, making sure that the kick wax stays onto the ski. The snow today is not terribly abrasive. It is fine-grained and cold in the shade and becoming more transformed in the sun. The sun is what gives the kick waxers the real challenge, because more moisture is released from the snow. It causes a little bit of lubrication, and it makes the kicking harder. The grip wax is tough when it's sunny.
Okay, so our next skier, we had a little bit of a break, about 2 minutes between starters. That was Taylor Vignaroli from Wyoming, who went off with bib number 7 and the sweet mohawk. Our next skier is going to be Duncan Kane. I misspoke about that earlier. He is from Colorado Mesa, and he is under start orders here with Bill Martin. Bill is one of our local volunteers and is a great supporter of the Nordic ski community here.
Colorado Mesa University is one of the fine small colleges in the Colorado State University system, a growing university with increasing and improving programs both in athletics and academics. Its home is Grand Junction, Colorado, and these athletes ski up on the Grand Mesa.
Okay, Duncan is out and on course. Next up in a nice slick green lycra suit from Clarkson is Ben King. Ben will be with bib number 13 this morning.
A lot of engineering students there at Clarkson University. It's a well-known research university. They look for talented and ambitious young students who are ready to study engineering and problem solving for modern technological challenges.
Okay, he is on course. Next will be from Whitman College, Samuel Curtis. Samuel is looks like he's got a heavy load of science, biochemistry, biophysics, and molecular biology major, hailing from the other side of the divide here in the Cascades from Corvallis, Oregon.
A lot of students, again, talented, motivated students going off to the small college, Whitman College, over in Walla Walla, Washington. Terrific programs in engineering and the sciences, as well as outdoor programs where they take the students into the mountains and deserts to learn in that environment and not just in the classroom.
Coming up after Samuel with bib number 15 is Zach Mora from the U.S. Air Force Academy in Colorado. He is a geospatial sciences engineer and hails from McCall, Idaho, another Nordic skiing hotbed.
Oh, the trail system in McCall is fantastic. They've got 2 or 3 different Nordic trail systems in McCall. Recently, staged the Masters World Cup, and master skiers from all over the world were in McCall.
Okay, next up from St. Olaf's with bib number 16 is Nels Thompson from the Midwest. St.
Olaf College is in Northfield, Minnesota. That's an old school. They're going into their second century of educating young men and women. Named after King Olaf of Norway.
And he is on course. And next up, a very tall, slick skier from the University of Wyoming would be Ben Noren. From this distance, looks to be well over 6 feet and strong.
University of Wyoming men's team was runner-up for the national championships last year. This year, they're seeking to move up one notch and win this race as a team.
Okay, Ben is off. Next up is Bryce Neal. Bryce is from the University of Maine at Farmington. He is a geology major and hails from New Gloucester, which I'm assuming, I don't have the state here, perhaps is Maine. There's probably or Massachusetts.
Yep. Yeah, it could be. It's an East Coast guy at an East Coast university and an East Coast snow pack this year. Kids from the University of Maine have had terrific skiing, lots of snow, almost too much snow. But here we are in Bend, Oregon, and he is off with a very high cadence for his start.
Next up is Kevin Geisen from Western State Colorado University, and he is a recreation and outdoor education major from Washburn, Wisconsin.
Kevin's at a school that's noted for his leadership in outdoor education. At 7,700 feet above sea level, Gunnison is one of the higher universities in terms of elevation.
And he'd like to be a mountain guide in the future.
Well, he is in wonderful mountains here that he could learn some guiding skills.
Next up, bib number 20 from Cornell is Benjamin Anderson from Ithaca, New York. Cornell is a terrific research university in the sciences, material science, engineering of all kinds, and of course weather science. Okay, he is off. Next up with bib number 21 is Chris Peterson from Paul Smith's College. He is an environmental science major, and his home mountain is Mount Van Hoevenberg, home of the, boy, I'm going to date myself here, the Miracle on Ice Olympics.
1980.
1980
Olympic Winter Games held in Lake Placid, and the skiers were competing at Mount Van Hoevenberg. Chris is off now. That Mount Van Hoevenberg trail system recently hosted the Lake Placid Loppet, 2 25K loops of some of the steepest and then fastest skiing that you see anywhere on Nordic skis.
Okay, next up is bib number 22, Eric Mallory from Clarkson University, getting in some instructions from the starter, Bill Martin.
Clarkson looks for talented and ambitious young students looking to study engineering, the sciences, and original research.
And he is off. Next skier from the U.S. Air Force Academy is Calder Kempama, and he is a computer engineering major and is actually from Laramie, Wyoming. So Wyoming let one of those good skiers go there. His home skier is Snow Mountain Ranch.
Snow Mountain Ranch. Fantastic set of trails at the Snow Mountain Ranch. High altitude, cold, dry snow, beautiful views. We've got this young man off from the Air Force Academy on the trails at Mount Bachelor doing his best to fly on snow.
Okay, next is Mike Tuttle from Paul Smith's College. Mike originates from Saranac, New York, and again, one of his home mountains is Mount Van Hoevenberg.
You know, the kids at Paul Smith's College actually operate a sawmill, so they learn a lot of their lessons in the classroom, but they're out in the woods, on the rivers, and learning practical wildlife management, resource management courses.
And he is off. Next, skier number 25, bib number 25, Cameron Smith from Western State Colorado University in Gunnison, Colorado. He hails from Rockford, Illinois, and his home mountain is Crested Butte Mountain Resort.
Western State is coming back into skiing after a short hiatus. They were a top-level skiing university in the 60s and 70s, and there was a lapse in the program, but it's so good to see these young athletes from Western State back on the snow.
Okay, next up would be Joshua Richards, number 26, bib number 26 from University of Maine at Farmington, an environmental science major. Home area is Sugarloaf, and is looking to have a positive result here today.
University of Maine has branches all over the state serving both urban and rural Maine. They do a great job of providing opportunity for students around the entire state.
Next skier, bib number 27, Adam Mahar from Cornell. He hails from Andover, Maine. His home mountain is Black Mountain, and it looks like he is a Latin major.
That course that they have at Black Mountain is absolutely fantastic. I was there years ago when my kids were younger, but Black Mountain has both an alpine and a Nordic area, even some Nordic jumps.
We're getting someone there cheering for the Cowboys. We, in fact, have a Cowboy from the University of Wyoming up next. Sam Wiswell, an environmental geology and geohydrology major from the sweet town of Jackson, Wyoming.
Jackson, Wyoming, young man. They have a terrific set of trails there in Jackson, Wyoming. They have a good, strong ski club there. They train a lot on roller skis in the summer. Have terrific trails all around there for roller skiing as well. Right in there, in and close to Jackson Hole.
Okay, Sam is off. Next up would be skier number 29 from St. Olaf's, Leif Hansen.
Leif Hansen, what a great name for a Nordic skier. The Scandinavian names and a Scandinavian-based sport. St. Olaf College, again, named for the King of Norway.
Okay, he is off. Next, bib number 30, Nate Maddox from Colorado Mesa University, and he hails from Eagle, Colorado, and this is his first nationals event.
Colorado Mesa University provides opportunity for these students to get out into the mountains and into the deserts. You see a lot of mountain biking going on near Grand Junction, Colorado. There's the Colorado River and whitewater sports, as well as skiing up on the Grand Mesa.
And he is off. Next skier, sporting a modified mohawk and a nice, sweet Stars and Stripes headband, would be Mason Vincent from the University of Wyoming, a kinesiology and health sciences major.
Here are these young athletes putting the lessons of kinesiology and health science to practice here as they work hard in this aerobic sport.
And he's off. Okay, next would be bib number 32, Mitchell Miller from St. Olaf's. Mitchell is bouncing up and down here. Looks like he's got some nervous energy.
Good to have nervous energy. This is a great place for some nervous energy on the start line. That means he's going to go out there and give it his best.
So one of the things you see, Bert, are the skiers at the start line kind of moving their skis back and forth. Why do they do that?
They move their skis back and forth because if they've got wax on that might ice up, especially in that shady area, they move their skis back and forth to keep the water under the ski from freezing to the ski.
Okay, next up, number 33 and bib number 33 from the Air Force Academy, Josh Server from Orono, Minnesota. And he is wearing the proud colors of the Air Force Academy, blue, gray, and kind of navy blue here.
We've got aeronautic engineering, aeronautic technology students here from the university, or from the Air Force Academy. It's good to see these kids out here putting their strength and skills toward the Nordic discipline.
Next up would be bib number 34. Number 34 is David Stauffer from Cornell. David Stauffer, as a matter of fact, from Cornell, and he is a mathematics major from Ithaca, New York.
Local skier.
And he's off.
Local skier from Ithaca. Those skiers have got a number of different venues that they can train in, but probably with the amount of snow they've had this year, can train right on campus.
Bib number 35 is up next. Peter Mallory, or junior from Clarkson University. And this is his first nationals, and he is getting start orders right now, and he is ready to go.
It looks like bib 4 has just come through, finishing his first lap. Bib 4 was Zach Graff, Air Force Academy.
Okay, next up is bib number 36. Bib number 36 is Noah Colas from Western State, Colorado, in Gunnison.
Duncan Cohen, bib 12, has just come through for his lap and is headed out for his second 3.5 kilometer loop on these trails here at Mount Bachelor Nordic Center.
And skier bib number 36 is off, and behind getting ready to roll is bib number 37 from Colorado Mesa University is Carter Koval. And Carter, if you guys are streaming live here, you'll see that it is quite warm, and he is wearing a tank top.
Here at Mount Bachelor, we have the Oregon sun out today. Gives us nice warm air temperatures, but we've got snow that's staying pretty darn cold. Fine-grained and excellent for Nordic racing today.
And he is off in his tank top there. And then next up is Brian Charzan from Clarkson University, and he is a mechanical engineering major from Clifton Park, New York. And it is his first nationals.
Great place to come for your first nationals.
Yep, perfect day. Not a cloud in the sky, staring up at a big volcano known as Mount Bachelor here.
Hopefully we'll see Brian at more of the USCSA National Championships here in his future. He's going out with a good classical stride and now double poling.
Okay, next up, bib number 39, local skier and legend Imran Wolfenden, and he is from Oregon State University Cascades. And I'm a little bit familiar with Imran, and this kid gets after it and works super hard.
It's good to see these Oregon State University students out here. We're going to see that program continue to grow as they establish a 4-year campus here in Bend.
And off goes Imran, and he is looking strong.
We've got more skiers coming through for their first lap.
Okay, next up from Colorado Mesa University, bib number 40 is Andrew James. Andrew is a finance and music performance major, and his hometown is Grand Junction, Colorado.
Jason, I'm just so happy to see the varied number of skill set of the athletes who are here. We've got music majors, we've got aeronautical engineers, we've got material science engineers, we've got pilots. All these kids coming here today to share this common experience of classic skiing at Mount Bachelor.
Okay, bib number 41 is up next from the Air Force Academy. It is Kojiro Kobayashi, and he is from Manchester, Maine. And his major is military history, adding to that good fabric of academic disciplines represented here. And he is off. Next up, bib number 42 is Kyle Bachansky from the University of Wyoming. Kyle also sporting a modified mohawk here with some hair product making it stand on end.
So, Jason, it's fun to look at this start list and look at it. It looks like an international race. We've got people of Scandinavian background, Japanese background. We've got English background and German background. It looks like an international ski race when you look at the list of names here.
Okay, we're getting near the end of our start list here. Bib number 43 from Cornell University is Justin Horst. He is a design and environmental analysis major, and he comes from the cold state of Minnesota.
Minnesota, they're experiencing, surprise, surprise, another blizzard today.
Next up, bib number 44 is Paul Ferrer, and Paul is from Clarkson University, mechanical engineering student, and from San Antonio, Texas. Wow.
So we have a young man who goes from Texas on into upstate New York. You couldn't think of two more disparate places in the United States.
And he says he is arguably the best Nordic skier to ever have come out of NISD, which is the state school system of Texas.
All right, let's hear it for Texan skiing for Clarkson University in upstate New York.
Okay, next racer from the Air Force Academy is Matthew Klump. Matthew is actually from Florida. Okay, and he has been deployed in Qatar and plans to be a pilot in the Air Force.
So I know that there are some skiers who spend some time in Florida. Mostly they're going to go on roller skis down there in Florida, using the paved roads in Florida. But here he's on snow.
Next up, bib number 46 is Samuel Mosley. Samuel is from Cornell University in upstate New York, Ithaca.
The athletes who've come from Cornell certainly have come a long way. They are also experiencing a little altitude here at 6,200 feet at the Mount Bachelor Nordic Center, a little different than their, I'm going to guess, 600 feet above sea level back in Ithaca.
Okay, he is off. Next racer, bib number 47, Connor Tins from Colorado Mesa University. And looking around here, he is a mechanical engineering student and is from Longmont, Colorado. Home mountain, Eldora, home of severe winds. And he's off. Next up is a University of Wyoming skier, Will Timmons. Will is an economics major, economics major, and is from Eagle River, Alaska.
We've got skiers coming through for their first loop. We'll be heading out on the course for their 2 succeeding loops. It's a 3-loop course. They've got to go up the Blue Jay Hill 3 times, descend the Blue Jay Hill with the decreasing radius turns 3 times, and then ski their way back up from Emil's Clearing on here into the finish area on what we call the Oval at the Mount Bachelor Nordic Center.
Okay, next up, 49, Nolan King, local kid from Oregon State University, Cascades, and his coach is Dan Simino from Mount Bachelor Sports Education Foundation, and he plans on being an exercise and sport scientist. Nolan, being a local kid, is or works with a lot of the groups just getting youth out on the snow, and pretty much just an all-around good guy, and sports a 3.94 GPA.
You know, Jason, it's interesting. I've noticed that a lot of these young athletes who accept the discipline and difficulty of Nordic skiing are also excellent athletes. We're looking at grade point averages of 3.6, 3.7, up towards 4.0. Seems to attract that kind of student.
Okay, so our last skier just went off, and our first finisher in bib number 2 is coming through, Carl Carpenter from University of Wyoming. He looks like he is just crushing it right now. Big sweat, big stride there. Nice.
Strong finish for the University of Wyoming. Carl out there, he's made up his 32nd man. He's made up, and that's his Wyoming teammate. It looks like they got another Wyoming skier coming into the finish now.
Okay, we got a whole host of skiers. We have a few lapping, and bib number 1 is coming in. That is Sindre Solvang from the University of Wyoming.
It looks like the University of Wyoming men are putting in the same kind of strong performance that the University of Wyoming women did earlier this morning.
And bib number 24, that'd be Mike Tuthill from Paul Smith College, has just completed his first lap, and we have another skier coming through here. Looks like he's a lapping skier, bib 29, I believe. Leif Hansen from St. Olaf's. Yeah, it was bib number 29.
Skiers who come in for their lap, they come in on the flat. They will begin a rolling ascent as they move their way toward the Mount Bachelor Nordic Center and then climb Blue Jay Hill.
Okay, we have some other lapping skiers coming through, bib number 30 and bib number 31. One is a Colorado Mesa skier, and the other from the University of Wyoming. That would be Nate Maddox and Mason Vincent.
After the skiers ascend the Blue Jay Hill, which is up by the Nordic Center, they will crest the top of that hill and then back down into the woods for an extremely fast and technical descent. Both left and right turns, some of which are at decreasing radius, keeps the skiers on their toes and working hard to maintain good technique through there.
So we have bib number 3 coming in hard down the finish here. This would be Ethan Katz from...
bib 5.
Sorry,
bib
my
5.
apologies. Bib number 5. Thomas Clayton from UVM, guest skier.
Tom Clayton coming through with a strong finish. Here comes Thomas Clayton. Clayton, a guest athlete from the University of Vermont. He's on the club program at the University of Vermont. And spends his time mountain biking and on music.
So it's taken a ton of staff and volunteers today. One would be Zoe Roy. Give it up for Zoe. Chris Fiala. Lots of folks.
Yeah, Jason, we have a skilled group of volunteers out here today. These people work races all winter long, and they do it because they love Nordic skiing. They will give up their time to come up here to Mount Bachelor and serve as timers and starters and course monitors.
Mitchell Miller going through with a lap, and bib number 7 coming through, the man with the big fat mohawk, Taylor Vignaroli from the University of Wyoming. I don't think that mohawk has slowed him down at all.
Doesn't look like it slowed him down. Taylor's having a strong finish. It looks like the University of Wyoming men are going to have a good finish today.
Ethan Katz, bib number 3 from Clarkson coming through right behind. So another folks to thank today, Kelly Simino, Danny Hinckley, the Martin family. Okay. So what do you notice about the skiers' glide, Bert, compared to this morning? Faster, slower?
Well, I imagine the glide is going to increase. As the snow warms to a point, a little layer of water will form under the snow and aid the glide.
And that was Joshua Server from the Air Force Academy in bib number 33 that just went through for his first lap.
When the snow is cold and dry, it's a little like skiing on sandpaper. It's difficult. There's a lot of dry friction between the ski and the snow. As the snow warms and begins to release a little moisture under the ski, you'll have improved glide. Once you reach a point where there's a lot of moisture under the ski, then you'll actually get, people call it suction. It's more of an adhesion and cohesion of the water to the base of the ski. Water sticking to itself would be the cohesion. Water sticking to the ski base would be adhesion. And that makes more friction.
Look, you're getting a science lesson here today as bib number 34, David Stauffer from Cornell, skis through, double poling out towards the Nordic Lodge and then up Blue Jays.
The ideal snow would be snow that's around -3, -4 Celsius and remains that way throughout the entire course. Seldom do we see that.
Double poling into the finish is David Cohn from Colorado Mesa. He is a strong double pole here. Looking strong and tall. Boom, nice finish. That would be Duncan Cohn. I think I mispronounced that. Nice finish.
You know, with skiing being an outdoor sport, there are a lot of variables here simply other than the technique and the fitness of the skiers. We can deal with wind. We can deal with snow conditions. Both of those things can influence the way an athlete finishes. It is an outdoor sport, and we have to accept the variability of that outdoor sport. That adds to the challenge. Over the course of the long season, those things will tend to work themselves out. But there's an awful lot to learn about snow science, friction, glide. This is a fairly complicated sport.
Okay, we have a skier that is going through the lap area with bib number 26. Bib number 26 heading through, Joshua Richards, and followed by bib number 36. Bib number 36, who would be Noah Collis from Western State.
You know, some of those technical aspects of the sport make it, an intellectual exercise, if you will. Of course, the simpler part of the sport is going out there and laying it on the line, putting your best effort in for the length of the course.
Okay, there goes Imran from Oregon State Cascades pushing through in bib number 39, looking strong, followed by bib number 38 and bib number 37. So it looks like Imran's made up some time, and we have the division leader here double poling in. Looking super strong. He is our 2015 overall leader so far. Not for this particular race, but for the overall standings. So, Bert, tell us a little bit about, well, we do have a skier coming in, so I'm going to interrupt myself here, from Clarkson University in upstate New York, bib number 13, who would be Ben King from Clarkson, double poling, and followed by bib number 17, Ben Noren from Wyoming.
These athletes are really pushing hard. What you'll see, Jason, in an individual start race like this is that there's no cat and mouse game. There's no special tactics that may work for a faster sprinter who can finish. These guys are putting out a high effort for the whole race.
Here comes Zach Morrow from the Air Force Academy, finishing strong. And another Air Force Academy skier coming in with bib number 4 would be Zach Graff. Zach is finishing strong here, and he is, and he had a slight tumble there, and he just stood up. Come on, Zach. Finish up, finish hard.
All right, boys, finish it up hard.
Here comes bib number 20, Benjamin Anderson from Cornell, nipping him right at the line.
Great finish there.
Way to finish strong, Zach. And they are doubled over, hanging on their poles. So from a fitness perspective, how do you compare the fitness level of, say, a Nordic skiing athlete to some of the other endurance sports that we might know about, like running and so forth?
Well, Nordic skiing is a sport that involves the entire body. It involves the legs, it involves the core, it involves the shoulders, it involves the arms. That means that all of the muscle groups are employed in propelling the skier forward. You have a lot more oxygen consumed. You burn a lot more calories. When you measure the oxygen uptake of skiers, it's the highest of any athletes in the world.
Okay, bib number 41, Kojiro Kobayashi from the Air Force Academy has just gone through on his lap. So he has about 3.25 kilometers to go in this 7.5 kilometer classic race for men.
The volume of oxygen that Nordic skiers can consume, highly trained Nordic skiers, is greater than almost any other athlete. There are a few other sports that come close. Rowing comes very close, as it employs all the muscles in the body as well. But Nordic athletes, you can see them as they're finishing here. You can see the upper body, the core, the legs. It's all involved.
Okay, number 19, Kevin Geisen from Western State, hailing in Gunnison, Colorado. Nice job.
This is the re-emerging ski program in Gunnison. After a long hiatus, we see the Western State Colorado University students starting up the ski program again, and so we've got some young Nordic skiers who are getting into their first national championships.
Curtis Samuel coming in, bib number 14 from Whitman College. Finish hard there, finish hard.
And bib 6.
Bib 6 would be from Cornell, Peter Ciampa. Good job, Peter. And another from Clarkson University coming in hard here is bib number 22, Eric Mallory. Double poling, and you can really see what Bert was referring to in terms of using the core, the lower body, the arms to propel yourself on the snow. It is a full body exercise.
Now, I was speaking with the coach who was helping the Air Force Academy up here. His name is Gary Giberson. Gary was a student at Western State College in the 60s. Where he was, I believe, a Nordic combined skier, which involves ski jumping and cross-country skiing. Gary's been skiing since he was 5 or 6 years old, and I won't tell you how old he is now, but he's been skiing for more than half a century. What we're seeing with a lot of these kids is them getting involved in a lifelong sport, and we have many different levels of competition. The USCSA is a level of competition that gives a lot of these athletes their first taste of Nordic skiing and wintertime ski competition. Okay,
here comes Nolan King from OSU Cascades, Oregon State University Cascades, a local skier, bib number 49, an all-around nice person. He was our last starter today, and he is going through for his lap after 3.25K. And coming through, we have another skier. Looks like an Air Force Academy skier. And bib number 45 would be Matt Klump from the Air Force Academy skiing through for his second of 2 3.25-kilometer laps.
You know, Jason, the chances are some of these skiers will go on to a much higher level of skiing, and some of these skiers may not. But with all of these skiers, what we're seeing is the potential for leadership. Some of these student athletes may go on to not only be coaches, but community leaders and researchers, problem solvers. All of that we see here in the Nordic discipline.
Okay, bib number 47 went through on his lap. That was Connor Timms from Colorado Mesa. And coming in here is bib number 29 is Leif Hansen, followed by bib number 28 from the University of Wyoming, Sam Wiswell.
Right, Sam, way to go. Good finish.
Okay, coming through in the lap area, look to be bib number 46 from Cornell would be Samuel Mosley.
Across the country, the highest GPA Nordic team of any sport.
Okay, we have a skier finishing here, bib number 31, looking super strong here. Bib number 31, Mason Vincent from Wyoming. Another one sporting a mohawk. Bib number 23 from the Air Force Academy finishing Calder Kempema.
And we have a real fight coming in here.
Bib number 27 and bib number 25. 27 is Cornell skier Adam Mahar, and the other is Western State skier Cameron Smith following close behind.
Nice strong finish, boys. Nice strong finish.
Lots of skiers here. So bib number 18 from is Bryce Neal from University of Maine, and just clipped by bib number 30, Nate Maddox from Colorado Mesa. And bib number 21 finishing. 21 is Chris Peterson from Paul Smith up in Vermont. Nice finish, Paul. Chris.
Upstate New York. Paul
Sorry,
Smith
my bad.
Upstate New York.
Thank you.
Paul Smith is close to Lake Placid.
Just across the lake there.
Just across on the other side of Lake Champlain.
And coming down here is another local legend and coach and race organizer is Dave Smullen. Wave, Dave. There he goes. Okay, another finisher coming in with bib number 24. Finishing hard here is Mike Tuthill. Mike is having a strong double pole here. Looking good, Mike. So we were informed a few minutes ago that this race league has the highest GPA of all the Nordic skiers around the country, highest college GPA average. Is that correct?
I haven't seen their grades.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make a guess based on the Nordic skiers I've known in the past, and that is that it takes a very special kind of person who will work very hard at a difficult sport. It's the same kind of person who will work very hard at difficult academics.
So the question is, when you're in a place like Mount Bachelor, and like right now we're looking right over at a 9,000-foot volcano peak, peak filled, covered with snow, with half pipes and slalom gates, what attracts the kids to the Nordic skiing rather than going over there and riding the lifts?
That's a good question. I think it might be that this is just plain hard. It also is, I'm seeing a lot of beginning athletes here, and I've noticed walking around this venue that there's acceptance of you, whether you're an expert or whether you're a beginner.
Okay, Mitchell Miller coming in, bib number 32. Mitchell from St. Olaf's finishing strong here with a dialed-in double pole.
I see athletes from different universities socializing. I see them talking. I see them sharing information. You don't always see that in all athletic disciplines. A lot of athletic disciplines are exclusive and secretive. This one is welcoming. And so here you have an athlete who is welcomed, whether he or she is going to be a national champion or a learner. And that appeals to certain people. As I say, it's a difficult discipline. I've watched young Nordic athletes take their homework when they travel to Europe to ski in international races and come home and hand in their research papers finished.
Okay, bib number 33 from the Air Force Academy is Joshua Server. Nice finish, Josh. with a nice lunge.
Finish. Strong finish for Josh. But, you know, as I say, I've seen athletes who will take their biology and their English homework right on over to Finland or Norway, and they will get that work done and bring it back to their school and hand it in and maintain honor roll status. Yep. That seems consistent across the board in Nordic skiing.
Coming in down the straight here, bib number 34 is David Stauffer from Cornell, representing the Ivy League. Strong double pull here. Finishing strong from Cornell University.
You know, we know what the academic expectations are at Cornell. We know that these kids are here racing, but when they go back, they're in the classroom, and we know that they're held to high standards there.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better day. This is about perfect.
I don't think it could be any nicer. As I say, I've been watching the World Championships in Nordic skiing in Falun, Sweden, and the folks over there had a lot more to deal with in terms of adversity. They had slushy snow. They had falling snow. They had glazing snow. They had thin snow. They had snow that they had to go out and throw salt on. They had wind that caused a delay in their jumping events. The courses at Falun were hard to maintain, and here we have nearly perfect conditions on the course here at the Mount Bachelor Nordic Center.
And on those slick, fast tracks right now is a Clarkson skier coming in, bib number 35. Bib 35 belongs to Peter Mallory.
Peter's got a good double pole, good arm position, little follow through there, coming through with a strong finish.
Peter Mallory from Clarkson.
Nice finish, Peter. Nice finish. Takes a lot of time to be a Nordic skier. It takes a lot of time for training, and you have to be good at time management. We find that students who are good at time management are also good in academic performance.
Here comes a strong performance. I don't have times in front of me right now, but just looking at the bib numbers, bib number 42 from University of Wyoming, Kyle Bachansky, looking strong. Okay, so we might get some live results for you here. Okay, Noah, let's see. Who is this? This is Imran Wolfenden, local skier, bib 39, coming in. Imran from Oregon State University Cascades, local skier, finishing strong and looking tired. Mountain View High School, local kid, skis also under the guidance of Nordic mensch Dan Simino.
And former mensch Eric Martin.
Bib number 38 from Clarkson, Brian Chisrant. Nice, Brian. Lots of finishers here. Okay, we have a tight race. Bib number 37 from Colorado Mesa, Carter Koval in the tank top, pursued by bib 36, Noah Colas from Western State.
The Western State athletes recently participated in a marathon race in Crested Butte called the Crested Butte Alley Loop. The Alley Loop starts right in the historic village of Crested Butte and winds its way literally through the alleys. I think that more than half of the competitors skied in tutus and clown wigs with makeup on. But then there were other athletes who were decked out in normal Nordic gear. It is a difficult marathon race that has a start elevation of 8,800 feet.
So what you're seeing here right now is just the skiers kind of going through the finish area where they'll take off their bibs, have an opportunity to refuel. And off in the distance, there's a, well, let's see here before I speak here. There's a skier, a Clarkson skier with a very large Clarkson flag coming into the finish here.
Looks like bib 40.
Bib 40 from Colorado Mesa, Andrew James with a strong, long double pull here. Good follow. That's a big follow through. Nice work. The
athletes who ski for Mesa do their training at a very high elevation. I think their ski area is up around 8,000 or 9,000 feet up on the top of the Grand Mesa.
Here comes what looks to be a Wyoming skier, again, number 46, I believe. No, it's not 46. 48. Bib number 48 from Wyoming, Will Timmons. Looking strong. Okay, a little lull in the action here. So if you've been with us this whole time, the weather is beautiful. Fast tracks, and the coaches have made accommodations with the kick wax, using kind of a stickier wax called Clister to give some kick. And here comes a Clarkson skier down the finishing chute. Bib number 44. That would be Paul Ferrer with a strong double pole. Nice work, Paul. And he's followed maybe 20, 25 seconds behind with bib number 41, the Air Force Academy athlete, Kojiro Kobayashi. Finish hard here. Finish hard, bib number 41. Nice finish there. And he is followed by bib number 26. 26 is University of Maine, Joshua Richards. And he looks like he has been working super hard and pushing strong.
Josh. Finish strong, Josh. Way to go, way to go.
So we're just waiting for some more skiers to come through. There's a Clarkson skier with a very large Clarkson flag kind of shouting out to the crowd there. We'll get some results momentarily, and we'll kind of be able to see how the schools have fared. So one thing that Bert had talked about is how Nordic skiing is really a lifetime sport. Locally here at Mount Bachelor on a weekend day, you'll see 4-year-olds out here and people who are in their 80s skiing around on the Nordic tracks, which is kind of a cool aspect of the sport.
A year ago at Christmas time, my 96-year-old father-in-law came out and skied with us. 4 generations of us on skis in the same day.
Okay, who do we have here? Bib number 43. 43 would be Cornell skier Justin Horse. Justin finishing with a good, strong double pole, finishing his 7.5K national championship individual start race.
Jason, the skiers are here for the entire week. Some skiers arrived here Sunday afternoon. Some came in on Monday, but they're going to be staying in Bend all week with events going on throughout the week. There will be freestyle events. There will be, I believe, a relay, and there will be some shorter distance races as well. So the athletes and coaches will get the full experience of the classical style and the freestyle or skating style.
Okay, here comes local skier Nolan King from Oregon State Cascades under the mentorship of Dan Simino, and he is finishing strong. And he is our last starter today.
He looks like he may have been the last starter, but he's not the last finisher.
No, he is having a good run. And where did he go to high school? Huh? I thought he was a local boy. Oh, Nolan. Oh, no. So Nolan King from Oregon State Cascades is a Mountain View high school skier as well, under the coaching of Eric Martin and Bill Martin and family. So a lot of local skiers here participating who are our Oregon State University Cascade skiers. And that's a relatively new program, maybe 3 years old, and is really become kind of a little bit of a powerhouse in the league. Okay.
I expect we may see some growth in that Oregon State University program, especially as more students come to Bend with the establishment of a 4-year branch of Oregon State University Cascades.
Okay, some finishers coming in. We have bib number 15. I want to make sure I have that right.
47?
47, and it must be 45.
45.
So 47, Connor Timms coming in, and 45 would be Matt Klump from the Air Force Academy. Okay, these are not official live results here. A time of 22:54 is Mason Vincent, and a time of 23:18 in second, Benjamin Anderson, and a time in third place, a time of 23:23, Leif Hansen. Okay, folks. So we are awaiting a few more finishers here. One more finisher. So we have one more finisher to go. And that would be out of, I believe, 45 skiers. We have one more. So 44 have finished. And running through, let's see, I don't want to miss the skier, but running through our unofficial top 10, Mason Vincent, Benjamin Anderson, Leif Hansen, Will Timmons, Kyle Bachansky, Sam Wiswell, Nate Maddox, Nels Thompson, Duncan Cohn, and Ben Noren. Okay, here comes our final skier. Final racer is bib number 46 from Cornell, Samuel Mosley. Finishing strong is Samuel Mosley, bib 46 from Cornell University. Okay. Nice work, Samuel. So that is our last skier on course.
What do we have set up for our next race? So tomorrow at 10 a.m. we will see the skate sprint event. All right, we will have preliminaries there, and then we will qualify racers into heats, and the skiers will ski in those heats. 20 qualify. 20 qualify for the heats, and then they will ski off in heats, moving through quarterfinals, semifinals, and into the finals. That'll be on skate skis. Those skis are shorter, stiffer, and in general faster. That will be tomorrow.
And so that'll have a little bit of a different look. They'll have a qualifying round where each skier goes out individually, and then they take those times and seat the skiers into heats, and then I believe they'll be going off in groups of 6. So that should be kind of okay, it'll be 4 heats of 5, and that should be an exciting kind of duel tomorrow. So, and I believe the qualifiers will start at 10 a.m. with the heats going off at 11. So unofficially, the results, again, I'll just go through the top 10 here. Mason Vincent, Benjamin Anderson in second, third, Leif Hansen, fourth, Will Timmons, fifth, Kyle Bachansky, sixth, Sam Wiswell, 7, Nate Maddox, 8, Nels Thompson, 9, Duncan Cohn, 10, Ben Noren. But really the most impressive thing today, beyond the hard work of the athletes, is the clear dual focus of academics and sport. Kind of a very cool thing to see when you think about college level athletics.
Academics and sport are not mutually exclusive. Sports enhance the lives of these high-level students, and of course the academics challenge. As we said before, it seems that very often Nordic skiers attract some of the highest academic performers.
Okay, so as we sign off here, I'm Jason Albert with Burke Hinckley, and the 2015 USCSA National Championships are brought to you in part by Patagonia. Their mission: to build the best product, cause no unnecessary harm, and to use business to inspire and implement solutions to the environmental crisis. Learn more at Patagonia.com. Patagonia, proud supporters of the USCSA. and by Reliable Racing. Whether it's Alpine and Nordic ski racing apparel and equipment, hill and event supplies, sports timing equipment, or hard-to-find race gear, Reliable Racing is your one-stop shop. Check them out on the web at www.reliableracing.com and buy Twitchell Sportswear, the home of Yeti apparel. When you're facing truly abominable weather, the Yeti has you covered. Check out the complete collection at twitchellsportswear.com. Proud supporters of the USCSA. And thanks a lot for streaming this with us. It's been our pleasure. I'm Jason Albert and Burke Hinckley here outside of Bend, Oregon at Mount Bachelor Nordic Center on a lovely day where you could probably, if you were on top of the mountain, you could probably see about 100 miles out to the horizon. Thanks again for watching.
Jason, good to work with you, and we'll be back tomorrow.
So young, so loud. Run back to school, yeah. Find out I don't want you on return. I just want a soul shot. Everywhere you have me, love, better have me up on the wall. 'Cause baby, you know that you're pushing while I go. So long to find love, just keep it moving.